United States is the most powerful country in the world, the country of opportunity. Here you can do anything you want if you apply yourself. Unlike many people, my process was at the INS, the old INS, the immigration building in downtown Los Angeles. I had a test, a multiple choice test. There was about 120 of us. And when I was done, I raised my hand. They came, picked it up. I got 100% on my test, which I was very proud of. And they told me to go downstairs. At the time, it was $50 cash. Went downstairs, paid the $50, and they told us to come back at 1:30 to the 8th floor, and the judge will come in and swear us in. And that same day, I had to turn in my green card, which, by the way, it wasn't green, it was blue. Turned in my green card, signed next to my name, and got my citizenship paper. It's a beautiful certificate that says, "You're a United States citizen." Ronald was a perfect child. He was very obedient, very thoughtful, very loving, very affectionate, very caring. He was a little prankster as he grew up. Him and my father would do little pranks with my mother and me. And when he was a teenager in junior high, that was his highlight. He wanted a BMX bike, so we got him one. And I would watch him in front of the house, and he would do, and stand up in one tire and spin. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, because I don't ride a bike. But he just loved it. But he was a good-hearted human being. Leaving a communist country, immigrating here the right way, fully vetted, and my government letting my family down by allowing open borders, because the guy that killed my son was previously deported.
How many times?
At least once that I know of.
Yeah.
But he was a known gang member with long history of arrests. And and he was deported, and then he got arrested for, I guess, domestic violence or something. And why didn't the judge say, "Hey, what are you doing here? You've been deported," and turn him over to INS, which those days was INS, now it's ICE. No, they just let him go. And then he was gonna kill my son's best friend, and my son saw him coming on the driveway, and my son pushed his friend down, and he got the bullet here and went across his chest, and he died. Bled to death. He had 2 children. They were 8 and 10 at the time of his murder. And the media likes to call separation of families when they're talking about illegal aliens families, but they're not talking about the permanent family separation. What separates me and my son is 6 feet of dirt in a coffin. Biden didn't care about securing our borders. Biden didn't care about keeping criminals out of our country. Biden didn't care about drugs pouring into our country. Biden didn't care about children being trafficked. He didn't care about anything. He completely opened the border as if we had no borders, and created the disaster that we have nowadays, and created many, many more victims that could have been avoided, like my son's death. Being a victim's mother has different layers. First, you just want the offender to be captured, so they're not gonna hurt anybody else. And then you think that's gonna be the end of it, but it's not. Then I thought, okay, if he goes to court and gets charged and gets sentenced to prison, then I'll be okay. That happened, I still wasn't okay. In fact, that was a total disaster, because he was going for 1st or 2nd degree murder, and the judge pled with the offender 3 times, pleading with him to take a plea bargain. and he took a plea bargain for voluntary manslaughter, got the max 11 years plus 10 years for using a firearm, and he even reduced that to 85%. So he got a determinate sentence to be released on June 24, 2020, and more time was added to his sentence because he must have done something in prison, but he was released November 22nd of 2019. Where is he? Is he back out here? Because they put him out over the border. They deported him for the second time that I know of. And he must be back because Biden had open borders. Where is he? Am I going to be his target next? Democrats have destroyed this country. You look at every state run by Democrats is a disaster. Look at California. I think the changes are already happening with this incredible president that we have. I love President Trump and respect him with all my heart. I would like criminals deported, continue deporting them. Deport the criminals, and I don't understand why Democrats are against that. Why would you want criminals here? Why would you want to import more crime and create more victims? Because remember, there is no victimless crime. I would like all the criminals to be deported. I would like to implement E-Verify, that you have to be a U.S. citizen to be able to work legally here. I would like to see Medi-Cal cut off for all illegal aliens. Look how much it's costing the state of California, billions of dollars. Now Gavin Newsom is asking for another close to $3 billion to pay for illegal aliens' medicals. You go to another country, you don't get any free medical. Nowhere in the world. But we taxpayers keep paying and paying. And in education, they have already gotten all the education here in this country. Now go back to your country and make your country great. I support legal immigration. You're illegal, pack your stuff and go home. Here's the big problem that I see. A lot of Latinos never assimilate. I'm not asking you to lose your culture. I have two. I have Hungarian culture and Brazilian culture. I haven't lost the passion for either, but I respect the country that I live in, and I assimilate into this culture where I now live. I wish that the angel family community, that if we brought our resources together, number equals power, instead of one here, one there, and we can't win like this. We need to unite, and it's not about one being more famous than the other. We're all equal. We all lost a loved one. One is not better than the other. And work together to bring awareness to the disaster of open borders and keeping criminals in our country, because it's just going to produce more victims. When my time comes, I would like somebody to remember my son, to remember him on his birthday, to remember him on his anniversary, on Father's Day, and bring him a little flower on Christmas. That would mean a lot to me, because I don't want my son to have died in vain. And I would like to tell the American people and the immigrants in this country, fight for this country. Voice your stand. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Because the fact is that even those that are here illegally, they don't like this invasion either, because it has affected them too.